Hello everyone, Berserkhead here, and welcome to Ultimate General Gettysburg, which is the game that I'm going to be playing in this video, and let me actually tell you why. First of all, it's a game that is very similar to the Total War game, so I figured that it'll be interesting for my audience to see a video of me playing this game and giving you my impressions of it. And also, it's a game developed by a small indie team, which includes the person who created the Darth mods. And I felt that it's really important to spotlight this game because he's made so much for the Total War community that he actually deserves to get something back. And have in mind, first of all, that the game is still in early access. It's kind of in beta right now, so this is by no means the final version of the game. As always, if you decide to buy the game, always have in mind that it's in early access, and I would suggest you to buy it only if you want to support the person who created the Darth mods and give him some respect for doing so much for the Total War community and just being grateful for that. So other than that, I don't feel like you should be buying this game before it comes out. Even if you really want to do it, it's still not finished, so you'd better just you know just wait until it's released. As always with early access, that is how it works. Although I really suggest buying the game because you've probably played the Darth mods for quite a long time, so that's a good way of giving the guy some respect and some money as well. So there you go. What's the game all about? So I am not very familiar with it. I'm gonna I've had many things to do, so I didn't really have the time to play this game, although I got the review key like two weeks ago. But it's basically a game about the Battle of Gettysburg, as you can probably tell by the name. It really revolves around that. It's a very simplistic game, but it has a very interesting concept. It's kind of easy to learn, but kind of I would say that mastering the game and being good at it is actually difficult because I'm horrible at the game. Although I've played it for about half an hour, I'm still horrible at it. So you can choose between the Union and the Confederates. There are difference in their units. So the Union are better at like ranged units. They have better guns. They have better cannons, stuff like that. And the Confederates, they're better at charging, and they have better generals in the sense that their generals are, they give more morale to the troops whenever they need that, because generals are actually kind of an important part of the game. So that's the two main differences between these factions. We're gonna play as the Union. It's the side that I sympathize more with, and yeah, it's actually the side that won the battle and the war in general. We're gonna be playing. So first of all, you have many different types of AI, so you can choose different types based on its aggressiveness and difficulty. I'm gonna be playing on this one because I'm horrible at the game, so I want low difficulty, but I also don't want the AI to be too passive or too aggressive. That's as far as it goes. And so there is kind of like a campaign in the sense that you play like the whole, a lot of research has been put into this game, so everything is kind of accurate to how things happen during the Battle of Gettysburg. So all of this like kind of campaign thing will be really resolving and resembling the events of the Battle of Gettysburg. So basically, here's the first stage of the battle, and the Confederates are going to be attacking. I'm going to be outnumbered, and I'm going to be waiting for reinforcements. So the only thing I should do is I should basically hold here. So this is the how the units work. You have different types of units. You have like, that's your basic. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Stay back. There you go. So you have the ranger unit, like the skirmishers, kind of like in Empire, works the same way. You have the artillery units, you have cavalry, and you have like the basic infantry units. So that's how it works. They all like do different things and are good at different things. Obviously with cavalry you can charge, they're good at melee. Infantry is like their, well, you know how it works. I really shouldn't be explaining this to you. But basically, this is a very difficult stage of the battle because I have just skirmish units, which are not great for holding, which is exactly what I should do. And as you can see here, the units are kind of numerous. Maybe the numbers on the battlefield, although the graphics are really simplistic and kind of minimalistic and, even kind of cartoony, you can still see a lot of soldiers on the screen. You can see that there are a lot of soldiers on the screen, and these numbers that you see here, like above the flag of the units, these are actually how many soldiers there are in the unit. So not every single soldier simulated on the battlefield is visible, but you should. It's actually kind of confusing, the fact that not all of these guys are visible, and now everything is messy and I don't know what I'm doing. As I said, I'm actually really bad at the game, so I'm gonna be waiting for my reinforcements. I may just charge in with my cavalry here. Although that's not the best thing to do. I'm actually gonna lose my cavalry. But you should look at the numbers. That's basically, as the number drops, that's how many guys are killed. Like, you don't see every single soldier, as I said. Probably see, I don't know, there are probably 50 to 100 guys over here, and this unit is like 680. But you can still get a pretty good idea of like which side is like outnumbered and which side is actually more numerous. So these guys charged me, which was pretty much the best thing they could have done, since the Confederates are good at charging and my guys are just skirmishers, so they're obviously not good at holding. And that battle is actually going horrible for me right now. And that is my general. So as you can see, he has some aura and he's gonna give my units morale, and they're gonna come back from routing. So these units, as numerous as they are, they're never gonna be completely destroyed, and they're gonna rout multiple times, and they're gonna come back in the battle at some point as well. I'm not using my cavalry, which is horrible. I should actually restart the battle because I just failed miserably. I'm horrible at this game. I'm really bad. I mean, I don't, you know, I don't have much experience with it, but still, I'm doing terrible, because that is pretty much the easiest difficulty you can get. But these guys charged, which was like the best thing they could have done in this situation. And there was like a cover system, so the more cover your units have, the less damage they're gonna receive. So as you can see the cover here. And you also have morale, which is pretty self-explanatory, and you have condition, which is like how many, you can see how many guys you've lost here. So now that I've lost 0, my condition is at 100%, and you can see how much until they can get another volley. That's pretty much all the statistics, and this is how the general works. I don't think the generals can actually die, but this is pretty much what you use your generals for. You don't really use them for fighting, but you use them to, I don't know what these guys, I press hold, I'm pretty sure, last time, and they still run. I'm not sure if the game is supposed to work like that, or if I'm just really incompetent. It's one of them, one of these two options. So I have one more general on the battlefield, which might be useful. I'm gonna make these guys run so that I can have them close to my other units as soon as possible. And they charge me again, which is, I don't know how I can deal with that if they just keep charging every time. And here I guess I'm gonna get a cavalry charge, as these guys are advancing. And there is actually a thing that I really like about this game. You see how I'm just dragging the units, and I can like draw their like path. This is something that I would like to see in the Total War games, and that is something that would actually be very useful to the Total War games, because the unit pathing is pretty bugged out for many of the Total War units or games. It just bugs out, so that would actually be something that is very, very useful. You can also rotate them around. That is pretty self-explanatory. The way that kind of works is confusing sometimes, but you know, it's still a nice thing to have. And you have different abilities, or not really abilities, but yeah, you get the idea. You can either charge, make them hold, kind of put them in skirmish mode and stuff like that. You can also alter between walking and running. It's pretty much similar to the Total War games as well. And you have different types of shots. So right now I might want to use the canister shot, since these guys are pretty close range, so that's gonna deal the most damage to them. And I'm losing the battle, which I think is pretty obvious at this point. Oh, they're actually, oh, now I can get some shots from behind. That is pretty cool. And that was not what I wanted to do at all. But anyways, you get the idea. I did horrible this time. I actually played like a little bit earlier. I actually did pretty well in this battle, but this time they just charged me, and I had nothing to do. And I don't know why my units just keep going back. I'm just not used to the game mechanics fully. That might be the problem, but yeah. I'm pretty horrible, as I said at the start. Let's get the shell shot again and try to kill as many of these guys as possible, prevent my cavalry from getting killed, which doesn't really help. So you can see these guys are routing right now, so they're gonna retreat, but then they're gonna come back in the battle later. So that's how it works. It's not really like in Total War. Once your unit breaks, it just breaks and it's over. It's not like that. It doesn't work like that in this game. They're just gonna keep coming back. Their morale is gonna drop, but then it's gonna increase again, and it's gonna drop again, and yeah, just that's how it works. Do I have any more reinforcements? No. And I'm actually, yeah, I'm doing pretty horrible. But that is basically it. As I said, it's a very simplistic game, and that is actually the charm of it. And I don't think it really justifies the price, which is $10 at this point. I don't know how much they're intending to add to the game. Obviously, that is not the finished version of the game. But maybe $5 is actually a pretty good purchase for $5. $10, I really believe it's a little bit too much. Just because the concept is good, but the game is simple. It just, as I said, revolves around the Battle of Gettysburg, and it's really nice. Like the art style of the game is nice. The way, like, the mechanics work pretty well, but just the fact that I don't know, maybe it's just me not being interested in this particular era, but I just think it doesn't have enough content to justify $10. Or is it $10 or €10? I'm actually gonna check. I think it's $10 and €10, something like that. I'm not actually sure. I'm sorry about that, but if you want to check it out, the Steam page is in the description, so you can just go there and check it out. Let me actually get another cavalry charge. I'm not sure if I'm actually doing a good job of representing the game, because it's not really it's my type of game, since it's kind of similar to the Total War series. It's just I am not really good at understanding this era and this type of warfare. Just that is my problem, probably. That's why I suck so much at the game. Let's put it to shell again and try to attack these guys. Everything like this battle is just going. That is not the way this battle should go. Like, just gotta be really honest with you. So as you can see, the general cannot fight. Like, if I try to charge this general, it won't work. As you can see, they just go back. But the way I should use my general is I should just keep them close to my units and try to inspire them. Come on, charge. But yeah, the thing that you're seeing right now is not the finished version of the game. Definitely, they're still working on it. You could see the version that it's currently running on. They actually had a pretty big patch recently, so they added, I think, a bunch of things to the game. I don't know how much more they're gonna add, but even for that, like, the game looks pretty finished, if I gotta be honest. But it's a simple game, which once again does it a favor, because if they try to, since this is an indie studio, maybe if they try to do more with it, if they try to expand the concept, I don't think they would have done themselves a favor. Just the fact that this game is so simple is actually a good thing in this case. So yeah, I think that is gonna be everything. I'm losing this battle, by the way. So let me actually go to the main menu. Actually, there was one more thing that I gotta show you. There are like custom battles, so you can play, instead of playing a campaign, you can just play like a different stage of the battle. But I think these are either not added to the game, or they're just, I think I might have not unlocked them, so that might be a thing. But you can just, as you can see here, you can select that custom battle. So it's not really a custom battle, but it's more like a short mission scenario. Just, you know, a type. I think there is a certain element of randomization involved there. That is actually pretty cool. Just look at all the units. So yeah, it's just the custom battle is basically you play like a custom stage of the Battle of Gettysburg. Look at that. That looks kind of cute as well. I like it. But yeah, to generalize, it's a very simple game. The concept is very cool. I think it's very appropriate for the Total War audience. And if you've actually played the Darth mods, which are pretty good for any Total War game, really, you should buy this game just to support the developer, even if you don't play it. which, you know, it doesn't have a great amount of replayability, and I don't think people are gonna play it for too long. But still, you should buy it. It's a nice game. I just don't see how I can say anything bad about it. So yeah, that's gonna be it. I'm horrible at it, but I hope that if you buy it, you're gonna be better than me. So yeah, that's gonna be everything, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.